Welcome to the CMO Spotlight. And today I'm really excited to have Jonathan Karron, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for the V Foundation.
I would encourage people to be curious, to talk to people and network. You are a master networker. It's a gift, and for some people I know it takes a lot of work, but especially as you're earlier in your career, you can get little nuggets of information, but also make connections with people that can help you as you go on your career. You make those connections, and if you keep those connections, and it doesn't mean, check in every 3 weeks or ask everybody for coffee all the time, but don't do it just when you need something. You build a network, and then if and when you need the network should be there for you. So that would be my advice. Be curious, attend events, read, learn, especially for the marketing world that's changing so rapidly with technology and how it's easier in some ways, but harder in some ways to reach people. But there's no excuse to not get yourself out there, to be a sponge. And the more you know, the more you learn, the more you can decide what's right for you and get to your career path earlier. I always try and have the mindset of the customer or target audience in mind. And I see it a lot and throughout all the stops in my career, what I call the curse of knowledge, where I think we sometimes get so close to the business that we're in that we take for granted what we know that we think other people know. And so I always try and think about the customer journey, whether it's digital or experiential. What are they consuming? How do we get them into the funnel to tell the story about whether it's nonprofit or a brand that we're working on? How do we create those connections with them to motivate an action, whether it's donation, attend an event, purchase a product, share something on social media, whatever that might be. So I think my ability to ground myself in customer insights and represent them is something that I'm really good at. And then the other thing, which again, you have a real gift. I think I'm a natural connector, and I enjoy people. I learn from people, and so I think that has been a gift of mine, is that I've built a large network throughout my career. Partly from connecting with people, as I just said. I believe in continuous learning, whether it's reading blogs, listening to podcasts. It's great to listen to a podcast like How I Built This or the CMO podcast when you're out on a walk. And I get inspiration. I take notes in my phone and I figure out how to use some of those things to apply to my work or even my volunteer work. To help set the vision for my team and make sure it's clear what our path is. Like what are our goals? What are we trying to achieve? What's our role in the organization? And we have a very important mission here in helping fund cancer research and saving lives, and doing it with integrity, but also understanding what that roadmap looks like. I've worked at too many organizations where what success looks like is not clear. Depending on the side of the business that you're on, it's a very quantifiable. There are very quantifiable goals, whether it's on websites, email, social. Earned media is a little bit more amorphous in terms of how much coverage are you getting. But I think it's important to what gets measured gets done. I know I'm looking at this from a very KPI focused area, but I also think it's about doing it with integrity. It's trying to have fun, trying to respect people's differences, different points of view, different backgrounds, and so that people can bring their whole self to the organization and do it, have some fun, but also be proud of the work that you do at the end of the day. I would say that the campaign that I launched at Turner, when I was with Turner Classic Movies, we launched a campaign called That's Classic. And the goal was to make classic movies more contemporary, more relevant to younger audiences. And to follow up on the question you asked earlier about driving revenue, Turner Classic Movies is a commercial-free network. So the only revenue or the majority of the revenue generated was through subscriber fees. So we had to make sure that cable providers wanted to carry us on ideally their core platform. Like you didn't have to pay extra to get the next set of networks, so that if we reach more people, we would make more dollars. So we had to convince our affiliates, whether they be Comcast or AT&T, Warner, whoever those big players were, Cox, to carry us on that band. So we wanted to make our campaign contemporary, and we launched the That's Classic campaign in consumer publications and trades. We did a big spread with Vanity Fair where they created the 50 greatest movies of all time, where we had a lot of our ads in there. And the campaign won tons of industry awards. When we did studies with People magazine about ad recall and likability of campaigns and intent to purchase or watch, we tested really high. We integrated it into our on-air. We had very little budget, but that's a campaign that I'm really proud of because we wanted to make our brand more contemporary. We wanted to turn classic on its head. When we did focus groups and we asked people about what classic was in the movie context, they would describe a professor who was smoking a pipe with a tweed jacket with the sleeves with the
patches, yeah.
Patches. And then when we started peeling the layers of the onion back, they said classic can be really cool. And how do you define classic? Is it contemporary? Is it funny? And classic doesn't have to be a movie from the 40s. It could be a movie from 10 years ago, as long as it's if it resonates in some way. We created a franchise called TCM Underground, which were these cult classics that were hosted by Rob Zombie, the rocker. Mm-hmm. Those are things that we did to make classic movies more contemporary. And the campaign was really successful, and we were able to increase distribution. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but a quote that I absolutely love is attributed to Yoda: "Do or do not, there is no try." And I think that's such a brilliant quote. It's like, you can say, I'm going to try to do something. No, you go do it. And it may not always be successful, but try, to me, feels half-hearted. And so I think if you have a strategy and try and go do something with your heart and your head and with all your effort, you'll be successful, or at least you'll learn from it. Everybody could give a little bit of their time, talent, or treasure to things that to organizations or people that may not be as fortunate as them. I think this world would be closer to utopia.